Hi, welcome to Get a Job, Tips and Secrets for the Academic Job Market. I am Lee Hall. I am currently an Associate Professor of Literacy Studies at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. If you have any questions that you would like to see me discuss about the academic job market, please email me at leahall39@gmail.com. And you can also check out my blog, leahall.wordpress.com, where I talk about teaching in higher education. All right, so today I thought it would be good to talk about being prepared when you go to the job interview. Now, there's obviously a lot of ways to think about what it means to be prepared. Being prepared in terms of your talk, being prepared in terms of just knowing what's going on and where you're headed to. And I'm going to talk about your job talk in a separate video, so I just kind of want to focus on the idea of showing up, being present, and being generally prepared to participate in the interview process. So this is how I think about being prepared. So you are going to get in advance, hopefully a week in advance. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. You're going to get an interview schedule, right? It's going to tell you things like how you're going to be picked up from the airport, right? Is there a shuttle, somebody meeting you? Okay, that sort of thing. It's going to tell you where you're going to be staying at. It's going to tell you, are you having breakfast, lunch, dinner? Who are the people in attendance at the meals? When is your talk? When you have to give a talk? If you have to give a teaching demonstration, when is that going to happen? It's going to tell you who you're going to be meeting with and at what time. So you'll know, for example, you're meeting with the dean, and you'll see that on your schedule, and you'll see how long that will be. And so take time to read your interview schedule, and then look up the people that you're going to be meeting. Right, go to the page for the college, the school that you're interviewing at. Look those people up, read about them. If it makes sense, go read their work. You don't need to read everybody's work, but obviously people that are in your field, people that you think you're going to want to be working more closely with, take some time to make sure you're familiar with some of their work or review it and refresh yourself, okay? But you want to know who is it that you're meeting and what kind of work do they do, right? Who's the department chair or who's in charge of a particular program, that sort of thing. Who are you meeting? And then I recommend having a notebook, an actual pen and paper notebook kind of thing to take with you to the interview to keep notes in. And I recommend that you put questions in it in advance, all right? And you can have like a list of general questions. I would recommend that. But then I would also recommend pages where you have questions for specific people, right? So when you're meeting with the dean, what are the questions that you have for the dean? It doesn't mean you can't ask those questions to other people, of course, but when you go and meet with the dean, you want to pull those out and have those questions, right? If you're meeting with the department chair, what are the questions you want to make sure you ask the department chair? What are the questions you want to make sure you ask the search committee, right? So I would do that. I would have a list of general questions that it might make sense just to ask any number of people, and then I would have questions that I want to make sure that when I meet with this person, I ask them these questions, kind of a thing. And then you want to make sure that you have a basic understanding of the programs that are being offered when you're interviewing and where you think you would fit in at. Now, it is difficult to keep track of programs and how people run things and, who's doing what, when, and where. And nobody expects you to have all that down, okay? But you just need to establish that you've looked at it. And if you're confused by certain things, let them know, right? Let them know I wasn't what it is that you were not certain about, right? Because that just shows that you have been on the site, you have been trying to learn about them, you have been making an effort. Nobody expects you to have it all straight. That's what part of the interview process is for, to help clarify questions that you have about programs, to show you how they see you fitting in, for you to ask questions about how you see yourself fitting in, all right? So it doesn't need to be perfect, but you do need to have given it some thought. So that's, when I think about being prepared for an interview, that's a general guideline for some of the broader ways that I think about being prepared.